Hello everybody, good afternoon and happy Memorial Day. Today is May 30th, 2022. This is the newest growth update video for the Supertunia Vista window boxes. As you can see today, had them dressed up with some American flags. It's a very important day. This is a day that we use to remember all of those who fought and died on the battlefield so that we can watch videos like this today with freedom. Now, on a less serious note, as you can see, these Bubblegums here have completely covered up the box now. The last video, this was covered up and the right over here was still visible. They are massive. They're just becoming even more massive by the day. It's again, like I said, I'm glad the watering hose is right there because they need a lot of water. Probably, I'm gonna say somewhere in the ballpark of 4 to 5 gallons a day. And it's just gonna become more and more thirsty as it gets bigger and it gets hotter outside. So as we can see from this side here, it's totally spilled over the side of the container. I mean, totally. Just to give you an idea, under here, I mean, you can see it's doing a great job at doing what it does best, and that is just growing everywhere. No doubt about it. Today is about 90 degrees, just the type of weather it loves. And here's another view. See, it's just, there's not a single angle where these look bad. Even from inside the house, they look phenomenal. Just magnificent. So again, just been fertilizing once a week, but I'm gonna start stepping up the fertilizer because I know that's gonna make it flower even more and it's gonna need it. So now we'll go over here to these. These are the Jazzberry and the Fuchsia. So they finally started to pour over the sides. As you can see, still mostly mounding up. The Fuchsia legging out just a little bit better than the Jazzberry. But still, for whatever reason, these are the slowest growing of all of the Vistas that I have right now. As we go up here, you can see the same thing. They're actually starting to pour over backwards this way, which is technically what we don't want because we want as many flowers as possible showing towards the street. But as you can see, some, you know, you might be able to, if you wanted to, lift it up and put some sticks in to kind of push them that way, or you can trim them. Again, here's the Fuchsia. A lot of flowers. Again, a lot of it is still pouring over the side. I've noticed that the Fuchsia is doing ever so slightly better at legging out than the Jazzberry, but they both still are having, you know, some, they still need a growth spurt, as I guess the best way to put it. So again, just like everything else, I water these twice a day, so it's not like they're getting any less water. I fertilize them all in the same day, so they're getting the same amount of fertilizer. It's just for whatever reason, they are just a little slow to the race. But nonetheless, still look good. Just waiting for those boxes to be covered up with flowers, just like those ones there. So they're just on another level. So now, big surprise. Check out the Vista Paradise. Lo and behold, it looks like they've covered up their box too since the last video. A lot of flowers. As you can see, in the last video I said a lot were gonna pop up, and it looks like they have. Now, there's still, just when you look up in there, all of these little flowers, I mean, there's still so much more that has to come out. They're everywhere. But even though they're everywhere, I still don't know what it's gonna take. Maybe more fertilizer, or it just needs to grow more. I'm not quite sure, but in the meantime, I just water it twice a day, and other than that, there's nothing much more I can do besides continuing to water it, because it likes a lot of water, just like the Bubblegums, and continue to fertilize it, because I think really what has to happen is they're gonna need more fertilizer than they currently use. And I think that's kind of the secret ingredient, so to speak, of really getting these flowers to pop out. Now, of course, it's still early. I mean, when you think about it, I've only been growing these now for about 4 weeks. Well, I mean, the first video was May 1st, so 4 weeks. And over here, the Silverberry, which still has not poured over, but is mounding up more than it pours over. Of course, on the edge there, it has a little bit, but a lot of beautiful white flowers. Seems to flower more than the Fuchsia and the Jazzberry, but it doesn't really leg out just yet. But either way, I'm still impressed by how they're doing. Remember, this is a west-facing house, so it's not going to get as much sunlight as if it was a south-facing house. But still, nonetheless, they look awesome. It's definitely a head turner. So anyway, that'll be the growth update for this video. And again, happy Memorial Day. And we will see you next weekend.